The Hells Angels, the world's biggest outlaw motorcycle club, to become an outlaw biker. The idea of the outlaw biker goes back to the end of World War II. Returning veterans, suffocated by civilian life, bought themselves motorcycles and headed off in search of a freer life on the open road. They set up small clubs with simple rules of admission. You must be over 21, male, and be riding an American bike. The mainstream biking associations were appalled by these rebel clubs and branded them outlaws. Some of the new breed managed to live like rebels while staying within the law. But others became real outlaws. The Hells Angels, the world's biggest outlaw motorcycle club, objects. With close to 300 members in California alone, it believes it controls the state. The Angels see the Mongols' California patch as a snub, serious enough to merit murder. Labor Day, 1977. Interstate 15, Southern California. Suddenly, a barrage of gunfire. When the smoke clears, two San Diego Mongols, Redbeard Morris and Jingles Smith, lie dead, shot down by a Hells Angels hit squad. It's a devastating attack, but there's more to come. 4 days later, Jingles and Redbeard are to be buried. Family, friends, and bikers are paying their last respects at a funeral home near San Diego.
Shortly thereafter,
from the outset, the Mongols are on the defensive, worried about the possibility of further Hells Angels attacks.
We checked our cars for wires. I used to check my car every morning when I got up to go to work. Start the car with the door open and 1 foot out. But we left the door open in case of an explosion. You know, hopefully if the car was to explode, it would throw you from the car. That's the way we lived. That's the way everybody lived.
It's an unequal contest. Low on manpower, the Mongols soldier on. But strong bonds of brotherhood are forged in the crucible of war. The war goes on for 15 years. More than 24 bikers on both sides are slain. But the Mongols' esprit de corps comes to define the spirit of the club. For the Mongols, the route into crime was through war. To fight a 15-year battle for survival against the Hells Angels, a powerful, well-organized enemy, the Mongols need money, and money is in short supply. So in the late 1970s, the Mongols get serious about selling drugs. They cook up a low-grade methamphetamine called crank and start selling it as a money-making racket.
they made what they called peanut butter crank back then. It was junk. It was 40% methamphetamine. It was grimy, gritty. It looked like chunky peanut butter. But it was their lifeblood. They cooked it themselves. They distributed it themselves. They used it to finance the war. They used it for money to live on. They used it as part of their culture.
After 5 years of quietly building up their arsenal, the Mongols are ready to strike back against the Hells Angels.
We actually used to go out looking for these dudes. We went out hunting for these dudes. And in 1982, we found one.
One night in January 1982, 5 Mongols, among them Junior Erickson, go into a biker bar called the Horseshoe Tavern. It's a known Angels haunt, the watering hole of San Diego godfather Fat Ray Piltz. The Mongols get lucky. Piltz is there, alone.
They get into a fight with Ray. They're knocking each other around. One of them picks up a bar stool and hits Ray over the back, knocking him down to his knees. As he comes up, Junior Erickson pulls the .38 out of his waist and shoots him and kills him.
Somebody was in the wrong place at the wrong time, and a Hell's Angel got killed. You know, the thing is, it's war, man. You know, you don't see no ball, all you see is the enemy.
Junior Erickson goes to jail for killing Piltz, but he serves only 4 years. Instead of a murder conviction, Erickson cops a plea for the lesser crime of voluntary manslaughter. The prosecutors have little choice but to cut a deal. Witnesses are too scared to testify for fear of Mongol retaliation. When Erickson is released in 1987, he is a club hero. The first Mongol to kill a Hell's Angel. He's elected national president.
No matter what anybody says, you know, even when you're a kid, you're scared of an ass whip. You kick somebody's ass, you earn your respect. And I kicked a lot of ass.
For the next decade, the Mongols continue to expand their rackets, secure in the belief that without witnesses, the police are virtually powerless. Federal authorities eventually decide the only way to bust biker gangs like the Mongols is to go undercover.
How are you?
All right.
You just up with a little jolly then, are you?
Well, we're doing a lap round Australia.
A lap round Australia?
A lap round Australia. Long way round Australia, it's called.
How long's your trip?
3 months.
3 months, cool.
Yeah, well, it's about 4 weeks today. We left Canberra.
Oh, fantastic. You're just settling in?
Yep, but very much a sore bum. Oh, God.
Well, that goes away after a while.
Yeah.
About 5 years ago, Steve here was saying, what we need to do, when we've got time, when we retire, is get on and do a trip around Australia. Well, the rest is history, basically. We decided to just do exactly that. No plan, no rules. No rules.
We're in dead zone.
It's 1964.
Yeah,
So you four are in here. 2, 3, there you are.
Yeah, have a look.
Beautiful boy.
And there they were. They'd finally got together, spent 3.5 months riding around Australia, and they were just having a whale of a time. Okay, let's go then, guys. Just before we leave, there's an old US air base up here for the Second World War. They used to get the bombers in and all that kind of stuff. I mean, the guys we met last night, they're going to take us up the airstrip. Wow, look at this. Must have been a hive of activity when it was in its heyday. Wow, it's amazing, isn't it? Oh, that's a big, big runway, that. It looks like sort of somewhere in Heathrow Airport size. You can imagine all the big planes, couldn't you? All taxiing up side by side, taking off, multiple runs. Amazing. Bomber Borman. Just getting ready to taxi now. Brilliant, guys.
Yeah.
Oh, what a cool bunch of guys, eh? Having a laugh.
James was now in front of me, but my bold fuel strategy would keep me in the game.
Okay, settling into the cruise now, looking good and going well. The bike running absolutely like a metronome. Quick summary of the turn my life has taken. I'm 20 miles south, not north of Doncaster. By the side of the A1, in the rain. The motorcycle is slightly broken. What I did was leave the fuel tap on, the reserve tap on, so the bike pulled a load of sludge through from the bottom of the fuel tank, clogged up the left-hand carburettor, and has now stopped. That's the situation. It is, however, a very manly pursuit motorcycling. I'm enjoying it. Testosterone surging around my system. Or it could be rain, actually. It's getting in it's rain. Surging around my system.
James was overflowing with Top Gear sympathy.
The Black Shadow rides again! We could just throw in the towel. That's not the Black Shadow's way. Yeah.
This, I think, is still that rain that we had left behind, but I got caught up in again because I was delayed having to rebuild my carburettor. As a result, getting quite wet. Very wet. So, it's Saturday morning and the continuing adventures of the Black Shadow continue. Oh, the pain.
Okay, time to get back on my hero. That's a good thing. Just past Scott's Corner now, about 150, 160 miles yet to run. Can't feel my right hand at all. But this, you know, this is a marathon, not a sprint.